Is someone's opinion living rent-free in your head right now? Maybe it was something a coworker said, a comment from a family member, or even a complete stranger online. These words can circle in our minds, making us feel heavy, anxious, or just plain bad about ourselves. It's like carrying around a heavy backpack that isn't even yours to carry. You're carrying a weight that belongs to someone else. Well, what if I told you there's a way to put that backpack down for good? By the end of this video, you'll have a simple, powerful, 3-step system to protect your peace of mind and stop letting outside negativity control your inner world. This isn't about building thicker skin or pretending things don't hurt. It's about developing a kind of inner shield, a way to remain calm and centered, no matter what's thrown at you. And we're going to learn this through a story, a timeless tale about a silent monk and a very, very muddy statue. Imagine a beautiful, ancient monastery nestled in a valley, surrounded by mist-covered mountains. The air is still filled with the scent of pine and incense. As the sun begins its slow descent, painting the sky in fiery shades of orange and purple, a traveler arrives at the monastery gates. But this traveler isn't here seeking peace. He is a storm of human emotion, his face twisted with rage. His fists are clenched, and his shoulders are tight with tension. He stomps into the main courtyard, and his eyes lock onto a magnificent statue standing at its center. It's a statue of a serene, smiling figure, cast in gleaming gold, reflecting the last golden rays of the setting sun. The traveler doesn't see its beauty. He only sees a target for his fury. He begins to shout. He screams insults at the silent, golden figure. He yells about his own misfortunes, his failed business, his broken heart, blaming the world, blaming fate, blaming this unmoving statue for his pain. He calls it useless, a gaudy piece of metal that does nothing for the suffering of people like him. The monks, who have gathered quietly at the edges of the courtyard, watch him. They don't intervene. They don't speak a word. They simply observe, their faces calm and unreadable. As the traveler's voice grows hoarse, his anger only escalates. He scoops up handfuls of wet, dark mud from a nearby flower bed and starts flinging it at the statue. Clump after clump of mud splatters against the polished gold, smearing its surface, dripping down its serene face. The traveler screams and throws mud until he is utterly exhausted, until the last bit of light is faded from the sky. Finally, spent and breathless, he turns and storms out of the monastery, leaving the defiled statue in the darkness. The next morning, the sun rises, casting a fresh, clean light over the monastery. The traveler returns. He doesn't know why, exactly. Maybe he felt a sliver of guilt, or maybe he was just drawn back by a morbid curiosity to see the damage he had caused. He walks into the courtyard, his steps slow and heavy, expecting to see a grotesque, mud-caked monument to his anger from the night before. But what he sees stops him in his tracks. The statue is there, just as it was, but it's not covered in mud. It is gleaming, golden, and perfectly clean. The morning sun makes it shine so brightly it almost hurts to look at. It's as if the events of the previous night never happened. The statue stands, calm and undisturbed, its gentle smile unchanged. He sees the monks, who are now calmly sweeping the courtyard. The dried mud lies in little piles on the stone ground around the statue's base. It didn't stick. The rain overnight, combined with the smooth, non-porous surface of the gold, meant the mud simply slid right off as it dried. It couldn't cling to something so polished and pure. As the traveler stands there, speechless and confused, one of the older monks approaches him. The monk doesn't look angry or judgmental. He simply smiles, a smile that mirrors the one on the golden statue. He gestures towards the gleaming figure and speaks in a soft, gentle voice. "Last night," the monk says, "you offered the statue a gift. The gift of your anger, your frustration, your mud. But the statue did not accept your gift." The traveler stares at him, baffled. The monk continues, "When someone offers you a gift, you have a choice. You can accept it, or you can politely decline. If you decline, who does the gift belong to?" The traveler thinks for a moment and whispers, "It still belongs to the person who offered it." The monk nods. "Exactly. The same is true for anger, for insults, for criticism. If you do not accept them, they do not become yours. They remain with the person who tried to give them to you. Like this statue, we can choose not to let the mud of others' negativity stick to us. We can remain golden and calm inside, no matter what is thrown at us." This story is about so much more than a statue and some mud. It's a powerful metaphor for how we handle criticism and negativity in our own lives. The world will always have people who want to throw mud. They might be hurting, they might be jealous, or they might just be having a bad day. Their mud, their words, their opinions, their judgments is their gift to you, and you have a choice. Are you going to accept it? Are you going to let it smear your surface, obscure your shine, and weigh you down? Or are you going to let it slide right off, just like the mud from the golden statue? This is the core of what I call the inner shield method. It's not about ignoring people or pretending their words have no power. It's about consciously choosing not to internalize their negativity. It's a three-step process that you can use anytime you feel the sting of someone's words. Let's break down the inner shield method, step by step. Step 1 is to acknowledge without accepting. This is crucial. When someone criticizes you or says something hurtful, the first instinct might be to either fight back or immediately believe them. This method asks you to do neither. Instead, you mentally take a step back and observe the words as if they were an object. Think of the monk watching the traveler. He saw the mud being thrown. He acknowledged it was happening. He didn't deny it. In the same way, you acknowledge the words. You can say to yourself, okay, I hear what this person is saying. I acknowledge these words have been spoken. You are not agreeing with them. You are not validating them. You are simply recognizing their existence, like noticing a cloud in the sky. This creates a small but vital space between their words and your feelings. You're separating the gift from the recipient. You see the mud being thrown, but you haven't let it touch you yet. This simple act of observation stops the immediate emotional reaction. It gives you back control. Step 2 is to remember your value. This is where you reconnect with your own inner golden statue. The statue's value wasn't determined by the mud. It was valuable because it was made of gold. It was inherently worthy. Your value is not determined by someone else's opinion. It is inherent. So, after you've acknowledged the words, you immediately turn your focus inward. Remind yourself of who you are. Think of 3 things you know to be true about yourself. I am a kind person. I am working hard to improve. I am worthy of respect. It doesn't matter what they are, as long as they are your truths. This isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about grounding yourself in your own self-worth, a worth that exists completely independently of outside approval. Remember the statue's serene smile. That's the inner state you're aiming for. A quiet confidence that can't be shaken by a bit of mud. You're polishing your own gold, reminding yourself of your own shine, making your surface too smooth for negativity to cling to. And that brings us to step 3. Let it go. This is the final and most liberating step. Imagine the mud drying and simply falling away from the statue. You've acknowledged the words, you've reinforced your own value, and now you consciously choose to let the negativity slide off. You can visualize this. Picture the harsh words as clumps of mud hitting a golden, shimmering shield around you and just sliding harmlessly to the ground. You might say to yourself, this is not my mud to carry. I decline this gift. By doing this, you're making a conscious decision not to carry that weight. The gift of their negativity is returned to the sender. It's their burden, not yours. It doesn't mean you forget what was said, but you release the emotional charge attached to it. It no longer lives rent-free in your head. It becomes an event that happened, like the rain that washed the statue clean, but it no longer defines your inner state. It's just dried mud on the ground, something to be swept away and forgotten. So let's put it all together. The inner shield method. First, acknowledge without accepting. See the mud being thrown. Second, remember your value. Polish your inner gold. Third, let it go. Let the mud slide right off. This isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice. The more you use it, the stronger your inner shield becomes. You'll find that you're less reactive, more centered, and more in control of your own peace of mind. You start to realize that other people's opinions are just that, opinions. They are reflections of their own world, their own experiences, their own mud. They don't have to be a reflection of you. You are the golden statue. You are inherently valuable, inherently worthy, and you have the power to decide what sticks and what slides away. Don't let anyone dim your shine. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this story and these steps help you protect your peace. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content on building a stronger, happier inner world. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What says one truth about yourself you can use to polish your inner gold? Let's share some positivity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.